So you know what our regularly scheduled programming is on this channel. It's all about firming up your skills, keeping our mindset good, and continuing on the artistic journey as well as we can, interspersed with all of the characters. But this is the internet. Can't you just buy yourself to better artwork? Well, still, no. None of the things that we're talking about today are going to instantly make you a better artist. However, more than likely, they will be able to help the work that you do as an artist be more enjoyable. As a disclaimer, 2 of the 3 things that we're talking about today were provided for honest review. The third thing I just bought outright. Either way, in no way does that affect my opinion or what I say about them. You'd be surprised as someone with a certain size channel how many offers I tend to turn down. Really, the only things that I take on are things that are going to be relevant to you. First up is an item that you may have seen ads floating around for. These are pen tips for the Apple Pencil. They work on any version of the Apple Pencil, and the value proposition here is that it's adding a bit of tooth to the pencil as you're drawing. If you feel like the Apple Pencil is too smooth as you draw, this is mainly meant to add a bit of resistance and make it a little more like drawing on a traditional medium. So in the past, I've used matte screen protectors like the ones made by Paperlike to make the surface itself have more of that paper tooth. And what these pen tips do is a little bit different. They're made of silicone, sort of like any stylus that you might have used before the Apple Pencil that has a rubber tip. The functionality of the pencil is still perfectly fine through the pen tip. The pressure sensitivity, the tilt, is all there. And since it's covering the nib, it doubles as a bit of a protection from needing to buy more of the Apple Pencil nibs, at least extending their life. I actually found that when I was using matte screen protectors, it naturally wore the nibs on the Apple Pencil down faster, and I ended up needing to buy more a few times. So are the silicone pen tips worth it, and do they work? Well, it definitely depends on what you're trying to get out of your drawing experience. It ends up being a softer, more rubber-like feel. So if that interests you, I'd encourage you to check them out since it's a fairly low cost of entry. Plus, there's plenty of colors available so that you can customize your look. I'll leave a link below to pen tips. Next up, we stay in the realm of iPad and graduate to the iPad itself. Now, fair warning, there's a good chance that the first thing you do upon seeing this is laugh. Other folks who might use the iPad a lot, even people who've moved from something like the Cintiq to the iPad, might immediately see what's so great about the Sketchboard Pro. This is not a case for the iPad. The iPad is really just resting inside a rubber inlay. But once it's in, it provides a seamless extension of the iPad beyond its relatively small surface area. So I've given the advice many times before to draw with your whole arm, and this helps you to do that. If you've ever used Photoshop or a similar desktop app, you know how there's the actual canvas size, but then the border of tools and windows. Well, Procreate is nice because it minimizes that border, but now the Sketchboard Pro extends that area quite nicely, flush with the iPad. Plus, it's got 4 individual kickstands, so you can set it up at an angle on a flat surface, you can lay it flat on an angled surface, and even use it on your lap, on the couch, or elsewhere. There's a nook in the top for the pencil to charge on newer iPad Pros, and a place to stick it so that it stands up on the right. They've got a notch here for the camera to pop out, which is nice, but also, who's holding up their entire Sketchboard Pro to take a picture? So the Sketchboard Pro is actually something that I was excited for the idea of, but trepidatious about it actually being useful. But now I'm using it basically all the time that I'm drawing. They've made versions of the Sketchboard Pro for most models of the iPad, and of course, since it needs a caseless iPad in order to work right, just make sure that you have a case that it's easy to get your iPad in and out of. Okay, so we went from pencil tip to surface area, and now it's time to talk about you and the space that you work in. Especially if you're a pro or someone that spends a lot of time in your office space, it can make or break your productivity and your health. This is the FlexiSpot EC9 Vici standing desk and their Klismos office chair. So I'm someone who has been really drawn to the idea of a standing desk for a really long time now. John Lauren, who we've had on the show, loves his. You can see him actually standing for our interview. And I love the amount of alertness and purpose you can get from working while standing. But here's the thing, standing all day, every day, it's a big commitment. It's a little too much. It's easy to eventually get tired and lose your legs a bit. So my previous standing desk attempts are ones like this, that sat on top of an existing desk and used levers to pull the desk up. That never worked, mainly because of how precarious it is to lift a computer, sort of upward and towards you. The FlexiSpot desk has completely changed the game for me because it's convertible and motorized. So with the press of a button, it goes from a sitting height to a standing height. Both the desk and chair were simple to assemble, probably about 20 minutes total on each. The desk fits my computer, a second monitor, my Wacom 1, the mouse and keyboard, and the Sketchboard Pro with the iPad, and there's even room left over for a coffee and water coaster. So from a size and weight standpoint, these are great. If you've started working from home and you find the act of sitting at your desk for 10 hours a day makes you sluggish and lethargic, this might be exactly what you need in order to kick yourself back into gear. And when you need to sit, like midway through the afternoon or so like me, this is a really comfortable and adjustable chair. It has back support and armrest adjustments too, which is great. So we'll leave links to these in the description as well. So, do these things work? Absolutely. Will they improve the lives of working artists depending on their needs? You bet. Again, remember that buying something won't automatically make you a better artist, and instead it's just a great means of improving your workflow. We now return you to your regularly scheduled videos all about improving and mindset and cute looking characters. You can find my course called Learn Character Design over at learncharacterdesign.com. It's 6 modules, 18 plus hours of a comprehensive character design curriculum, and you can grab Biko's backpack over on patreon.com/BagelDenizen, which means a new package of original art shows up in your mailbox every month. You can find me at BagelDenizen on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. On Instagram, we've actually been posting daily quite a bit recently. Thank you so much for watching, and have fun creating.